Hello and welcome to Lunchtime Politics. First, the highlights. Inspector General of Police orders restriction of movement on February 25th, Saturday's presidential and National Assembly elections. INEC deploys election materials, ballot papers, BVAS and others across the country as Nigeria heads to the poll this Saturday. Plus, political parties and last-minute dip to convince voters. A warm welcome to the program. I'm Millicent Walker in Lagos. It's just a day and a few hours to the general elections, and the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, has ordered the restriction of vehicular movement across the country between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Police spokesperson Mr. Muyiwa Adejobi made this known in Abuja, where he explained that the move became necessary to ensure a secure environment for the elections. Earlier in a statement, the police chief ordered security aides and escorts not to accompany their principals and politicians to polling booths and collation centres during the polls. He noted that only security personnel assigned to election duties are to be seen within and around the designated polling centres.
The Inspector General of Police, Federal Republic of Nigeria, IGP Usman Alkali Baba, has ordered a restriction of all forms of vehicular movement on roads, waterways, and other forms of transportation from 12 a.m. to 6 p.m. on election day, that is 25th February 2023. With the exception of those on essential services, the Inspector General of Police sternly warns all security aides and escorts to desist from accompanying their principals and politicians to polling booths and collation centers during the election, as anyone found flouting this directive will be severely sanctioned. He emphasizes that only security personnel specifically assigned to election duties are to be seen within and around the designated election booths and centers. All state-established and home security outfits or organizations, quasi security units, and privately owned guard and security outfits are also barred from participating in election security management.
In the meantime, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has started the movement of sensitive materials from branches of the Central Bank of Nigeria to the local government area offices across the country ahead of the presidential and National Assembly elections on Saturday. Security operatives, election observers and other key stakeholders witnessed the sorting and distribution across the regions, which is continuing today. We'll hear more in this report.
In Lagos, the movement of sensitive materials from the Central Bank of Nigeria to the 20 local government areas of the state started before noon. Packed and labelled, the materials are loaded amid heavy security presence. The resident electoral commissioner in Lagos, who is overseeing the process, and the commissioner of police in the state are confident. They said they are ready for Saturday's presidential election.
The essence of this process this morning is to show Nigerians that INEC is very much ready for this election. The chairman has been repeatedly saying in Abuja that INEC will not change 25th of February or 11th of March. The evidence we are seeing at the Central Bank of Nigeria in Lagos today is to show that as our sensitive materials are going to the 20 local government areas of this state, that INEC is ready for this election. INEC never signed any agreement with the Park Management Committee. NATO is National Association of Road Transport Owners, and we are dealing with those who have vehicles, respective owners who have their vehicles. We are not dealing with any union in Lagos State.
So what we are doing today is to join the INEC team to provide adequate security. And if I say adequate, I emphasize it. Adequate security, armed security, that we follow all the trucks to each and all of the local governments. And when they arrive, there's under complements of local police that will upscale their security at that point, and they will remain there to ensure that these sensitive materials remain secured until they are eventually distributed for the election proper.
Still in the southwest, sensitive materials are sorted for distribution at the CBN premises in Ado-Ekiti, the Ekiti state capital. The arrangements of the materials for the election takes place under the watch of the State Resident Electoral Commissioner, party representatives, election monitors and observers. Men of the Nigerian police are also within the premises to ensure maximum security. In Sokoto State, the materials are moved from the Central Bank office in the state for onward movement to the local government area offices across the state. In Kaduna, the Independent National Electoral Commission commenced the movement of sensitive voting materials to the 23 local government areas in the state. The INEC Administrative Secretary in the state said the commission has taken delivery of all exact voting materials for the 4.3 million registered voters in the state.
Unlike what happened in 2019 when we had almost 90 plus political parties, this time around there are only 18 political parties, and even in the 18, only in the presidential election we have all the parties contesting. In all other elections it's not even up to that. So if you look at the quantity, the mass of the material we are going to distribute is not as huge as it was in 2019. So hopefully it will not take us very long for us to be through.
Same exercise was conducted by the Independent National Electoral Commission in Cross River State. The resident electoral commissioner explained that the decision to invite all stakeholders to witness the distribution is to clear the impression of any wrongdoing.
We have to configure them. We have to charge them. So the beavers are 100% ready. They are configured according to the pooling unit where they are going to be used.
The distribution of sensitive materials like the beavers, ballot papers, and other essentials are key part of the final arrangements before the opening of polls on Saturday, 25th, 2023.
In the meantime, a major endorsement has dropped on the doorsteps of the Labour Party, and that's coming from the Nigeria Labour Congress, which is asking all workers to vote for the party in the general elections. The NLC, in a statement, explains that the decision of its National Administrative Council requires all workers to ensure massive turnout of votes for the success of the Labour Party, in line with an earlier resolution of the National Executive Council of the NLC. It adds, quote, towards this end, all Labour political committee members in the state are to intensify their work in mobilizing workers and the Nigerian people, both local, ward, polling units, to vote for the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, and all candidates of the Labour Party contesting the elections. The NLC notes that the polls offer an opportunity for the transformation of the country's political, social and economic policy. In other news, however, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in Port Harcourt pledged to end a subsidy if elected president of Nigeria on Saturday.
Two things very clear. One is that subsidy must go, because presently it's organized crime and it's not sustainable. We need the resources to invest in clear development areas. That's one. Two, on the issue of refineries, we're going to ensure that we support those who are investing in refineries, especially modern refineries, in such a way that they will help us to stop fuel importation, to save our gas foreign exchange, and be able to create jobs locally. And that's what we're going to use it to benefit the use of Nigeria. It is a business. We are going to encourage them to go into various businesses. On what you said about amnesty, we cannot continue to just pay people without teaching them skills and encouraging them to go into proper, productive ventures.
The Enugu North PDP senatorial candidate and the governor of Enugu State, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, took his party's campaign to the west, asking the people to vote massively for the PDP. Governor Ugwuanyi expressed gratitude for the level of support and solidarity shown his party since 1999. He said he's confident about the party's resounding victory.
For your support for our great party, PDP. And most importantly, I thank you for endorsement of all the candidates of our party in the 2023 general election. In these candidates, we have a good opportunity for the consolidation of our achievements in the past year and great hope for more transformative leadership. I therefore enjoin you to rise to the occasion on the election days of 25th February and 11th March 2023 by voting massively for our party, PDP.
The All Progressives Congress has unveiled a 140-page document of what Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has done under his themes agenda. The event, which took place at GRA Ikeja, Lagos, had in attendance APC chieftains and others. The party also held a youth stakeholders parley to canvass support ahead of the elections.
It's the last stage of the All Progressives Congress Stakeholders Parley with youths in Lagos. APC candidates vying for various positions at the state and federal level engage youths and seek their support ahead of the elections.
The reality is, to rebuild this country, you need somebody who has the vision, who has the boldness, and who is ready to fight. He must be ready to fight, he must be a bulldozer. And I've never seen that guy who is as bulldozer as Asiwaju.
We are going to represent you and represent you well. Either somebody is older than me or the person is not older than me, we are going to go there to represent you and give you excellent representation. That is what we are committed to, and that is what we are signed up to.
The APC youth leader in Lagos explains why the youths are supporting the APC candidates.
We have seen that the party, the governor to support is Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu. With the effort he has done to turn Lagos and maintain peace and order in Lagos in the past 4 years, we say again, we will come back to vote him and we will vote him for our governor in Lagos.
Elsewhere in the state, the All Progressives Congress also unveils a 140-page document of what Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has done under his themes agenda. The Directorate of the Corporate Affairs of the Independent Campaign Council for APC, Mr. Babawa Forsyth, says the exercise is to enlighten the corporate body about what has been achieved in the last 3.5 years and to also seek their support ahead of the general election.
We felt we should put a compendium together that are of his achievements, what he has done so far, and obviously that is what we did today under the leadership of the Director General, who doubles as the Chief of Staff to Mr. Governor as well, and the chairmanship, Cardinal Odumbaku, who is a GAC member of the All Progressive Congress in Lagos State.
With the latest support, the All Progressives Congress in Lagos State is hopeful that it will emerge victorious at all levels during the elections.
Still to come on the program, we head to the Northwest where our correspondent Sadiq Eliasu joins us for preparations ahead of the elections. Just stay with us. Welcome back. In democracies, voting is an important action through which citizens engage in the political process. Although elections are only one aspect of political engagement, voting sends a signal of support or dissent for policies that ultimately shape the social determinants of health. But our objective today is also on what the public health considerations are as people go out to vote on election day. Joining us right now, Dr. Agbo Ebuta, consultant family physician. He joins me virtually. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me and welcome, Nigerians.
It's good to see you. So as we prepare to go out on Saturday, do gatherings pose a risk to health? How do we ensure that voting is as healthy and safe as possible?
Yeah, indeed. Anytime you step out from your house, there is always a health hazard. Even if when you're in your house, there's a health hazard. How much more when you step out in a politically charged atmosphere where you have to be on ground for a couple of hours to monitor the election and to participate in the process of voting and all of that. So to situate it chronologically and in an organized manner so that our viewers can follow, the first thing is that when you make up your mind, imagine you're in your house and you make up your mind that you want to go for the voting, you first have to be sure that you are in a sound health, physically and mentally. If you have any acute or chronic health condition that is impairing your function, it may be go out to vote independently without making appropriate arrangement for someone to support you or an intervention or an arrangement for emergency care in case you should need that. In the absence of that, we would gladly advise you to stay back and support from home, except you have made a clear arrangement. And once you've actually made up your mind you are going out to vote, the next important thing you need to consider is to wear something comfortable. So something comfortable would take into cognizance your weather requirements. For example, if you're going out and you're going to be in a cold place, you have to be properly kitted and well covered. If you're going to be in a hot place, you're going to have to be properly kitted and with light clothing so that you don't overheat and lose and suffer from heat outcomes like heat strokes and just general comfort. But we know that probably in the early hours of the morning when you go out, it may be cold and then subsequently it gets hot. So for such situations, you may go out properly covered with your sweater, and then when it gets hot, you should take off your sweater or your covering to a lighter clothing. In terms of the colors of the clothing you need to use too, these are also important. Darker clothes absorb heat and retain heat. So for cold environment, you want to wear darker clothes. But we know that most of the areas we will find ourselves, especially the timing for voting, is going to be quite hot. Temperatures will be high. So you want to wear lighter clothing. So white is excellent because it reflects all the wavelengths of heat, and to a large extent, you are less likely to retain heat. In addition to that, you should also wear very comfortable shoes, comfortable pairs of shoes. Sneakers are quite comfortable. And then for diabetic patients especially, you are going out of your normal comfort area zone, area of comfort or zones of comfort. You may need to wear very good, tight, loose-fitting shoes with very thick soles so that you do not have nails or anything piercing through the soles and giving you injury in the foot and resulting in diabetic foot. These are basic considerations. Once you've made up your mind, you also need to, using sunscreens are also important to avoid sunburn. Sunscreen with protection factor of 30 and above is satisfactory. But if you're going to be out there, you'll be looking at 50 and above. Yes, please. I was going to add that because I did check the weather forecast for Saturday. It says 36 degrees in the morning, yes. 26 degrees at night. And that, of course, changes depending on what part of the country you are. But I want to just quickly ask, and this is voting is also one of the most effective ways of advancing health equity. Would you say that the candidates and their campaigns have satisfied your concerns and their plans for public health policies? Well, we have not had the opportunity to interrogate extensively because the health challenges, Nigerian health indices are quite low, as we all know. Infant mortality rate is above 100. Maternal mortality rate is above 500. These are values that put us in the range of some countries that have significant social instability like Afghanistan and the rest. So there is clearly a huge need for a health intervention in terms of human resource, a model for financing health, the availability and upgrade of infrastructure across board and all of that.
We appreciate your time. Dr. Agbo Abuta is a consultant family physician. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. To other stories now. The Labour Party senatorial candidate for Enugu East, Mr. Oyibo Chukwu, has been reportedly shot dead. This attack is coming less than 3 days to the Presidential and National Assembly elections, 2 days now, Saturday, February the 25th, 2023. The Police Public Relations Officer in the state, Daniel Ndukwe, in a statement explains that there were simultaneous attacks and murder of PDP and Labour parties party members by armed assailants operating in a Hilux vehicle. He said they attacked and set ablaze the campaign vehicle of the Labour Party at Amici Akwananwu, Enugu, burning to death the party's senatorial candidate for Enugu East Senatorial District and his personal assistant with him in the vehicle. According to him, the miscreants were repelled by security operatives while attempting to also attack the convoy of the governorship candidate of the APC at Agbani in Kano West local government area. However, the Commissioner of Police, Ahmed Amani, who paid a visit to the scenes, has condemned the attacks and ordered a discreet investigation and manhunt of the assailants. And the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, says it is not eager to make arrests of suspected cash hoarders, despite scarcity of the new 200, 500 and 1,000 naira notes across the country. Chairman of the Commission, Abdurrashid Bawa, however, stressed that the law allows for anyone with the old notes in their possession to deposit them with the Central Bank of Nigeria at any time in the future. In the meantime, the EFCC boss asked all Nigerians to cooperate with the anti-graft agency in its efforts in fighting vote buying in Saturday's presidential and National Assembly polls.
We have a lot of people that have stock of these new Naira notes. They are willing to use them. Because INEC has more or less nearly perfected its scheme of doing things. The Beavers is going to do, a lot of wonders. So the option that most politicians are having now is to ensure that they buy votes from those Nigerians that are out there that come out to vote. So they need to maximize the numbers that they have out there. Even as of today, I think based on the numbers that we have, we still have over 500 billion of the old Naira notes that are yet to be returned back to the central bank. And for the new Naira notes, of course, the central bank have through the Nigerian Security Printing and Minting, have printed over 500 billion as well, which is, of course, is out there in circulation. So as I said, we are working. We have our own way of getting, this intel, and God willing, we are going to use them, maximally in this exercise.
Let's turn our attention now to our correspondent, Sadiq Ilyasu, who is live for us in Kano. Hi, Sadiq. Give us an update on election preparations in your region. Well, our correspondent, Sadiq Ilyasu, is still trying to get in touch with us, but then he has been talking about the situation there in Kano, also the challenge.
Electoral Commission, INEC, through the INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner, have confirmed to us that they have received 3,999 GVOS machines, and these GVOS machines are expected to be distributed.
Sadiq, continue. Go ahead, please.
Like I was saying, the Resident Electoral Commissioner in the state confirmed to us that they have received 3,999 GVOS machines, and these GVOS machines are expected to be distributed in 3,909 polling units across the state. However, 8 polling units, there won't be election there because there has no voter, according to him. Coming down to Jigawa State, still in the northwest region, the Resident Electoral Commissioner also confirmed to us that they have distributed all their election materials to the 27 local government areas of the state. And the Police Commissioner also confirmed to us that there will be enough security on ground to make sure there is a credible election. Coming to Kano State, still in the northwest region, today the All Progressive Committee, however, the State Police Commissioner in the state has actually ordered them not to go on with the rally for peace to reign in the state. We were able to talk to him, and I would like you to run the video.
Applied, but it was not even approved. And from the antecedent, if they meet in one place, they have always caused trouble. That's why we said they should all keep up.
So that is Mohammed Yakubu, the CP in Kano there, with our correspondent talking about the situation in the state ahead of the elections on Saturday. Of course, he will be bringing us live reports for us as we head to that day and on the day itself. More political stories as we round up. The People's Democratic Party in Kaduna, they faulted the free food, free transport and medical services dangled before residents of the state by the state government, Nasser El-Rufai, as part of measures to cushion the effect of the CBN redesign policy. The state secretariat of the party, Alhaji Ibrahim Wusono, says such gesture by government amounts to vote buying ahead of the general election. Elsewhere, the Yobe State Governor, Maimala Buni, has tasked politicians, opinion leaders, traditional rulers and parents to caution their wards, youth to shun violence before, during and after the elections. In the same vein, the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Calabar, Professor Florence Obi, has called on students, staff of the school to dissociate themselves from any election scandal that will bring down the reputation of the institution. Well, you've been served on Lunchtime Politics. Thank you for watching. I'm Millicent Walker. Bye for now.